officers. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to talk about the committee finance trackers. So it's going to be pretty short. So what is a finance tracker? So basically we use this to record your cash flows and also to show you your budget at the start of the year so that you can also keep track of what you're spending and what you estimated to spend, basically ganun. So there are these tabs in the committee finance trackers. So there's the summary, which reflects the total financial balance, cash flows, and projections of the committee, as well as the total transactions made in their respective payment channels. By payment channels, I mean GCash, back deposit, cash, ganun. Budget. So this basically just reflects the budget plan that the VP set at the start of the SEM. So it's just going to automatically sync. The cash flows tab, so that's for the use of the finance head and updating the cash flows of the committee. So this one is the only tab actually that you may be able to edit depending on your projects. So yes, okay, so I'll go into that later. The next is the inflow and outflow tab, which basically reflect the total capital, revenue, and expenses that you input in cash flows. So again, you don't do anything in this tab, it automatically syncs from cash flows so that you can get like a summarized view of what you've been spending for each committee or subcommittee, ganun. And the last is the AR tracker, so that reflects all the ARs used by the project manager or finance head in their operations. So this is depending on your committee and what you choose to do. You might not need the AR tracker at all, but it's just there in case you need to track transactions with others. So there's notes naman here and guidelines for you to read. I won't go through it that much because well, you can read it yourself, and I'll be just doing the short crash course on this. So I'll go through the tabs one by one really quick. So this is the summary tab. This is the internals finance tracker. So what we have here is the overall capital at the upper left, internals overall. So that's just the summation of all the costs and inflows and outflows that you had throughout the year based on the different subcommittees that you have and other projects. And account summary, basically inflow and outflow through cash, bank deposit, and GCash. Sorry. And then pretty self-explanatory summary of the subcommittees' expenses, inflows, and outflows. So next is budget. What I said, it just automatically syncs from the budget flows that the VP set at the start of the year. Cash flow. Okay, this tab is the one where you actually have to input things. So for example, this is for internals, and they just had an expense for the domain renewal for our G Suite and our website and all that. So let's put here, so date, June 10, 2020, description, domain renewal. Quantity, so I had one of that. How much did I spend? I spent 1,400. So usually this is unit price. So for example, if I were to spend for 5 donuts, I would put quantity 5 and unit prices, for example, 10 donuts each. So that would be 10 here. So overall you spend 50 because you multiply. So easy math. So anyways, type would be expense. There are notes up here just in case you get confused by the headers, so they will guide you. Purpose of expense. Actually, I'm not sure about this, so I'll just say it's for asset management first. I'll have to confirm that. But basically, what you do here, committee fin heads and VPs will be a lot more knowledgeable on which subcommittee is spending anyway. So this is just to note which subcommittee spent for this. And then if you've already spent or received the money, depending if it's a capital, revenue, or expense, you just mark it here with how much you got or how much you gave. So here I put negative 1,400. And then the kind.
So sorry for the quick edit here, but I just wanted to mention that I've changed the format after recording this. And when you note down your collected or disbursed amount, you're not supposed to put the negative sign anymore. So just take note of that. No negative signs. Thank you. Okay, continue watching.
And then the kind, I did it through GCash. So there you go. So just to note, if you see it now, if you go to the outflow tab and you go to asset management, you'll see that it is reflected here what you spend, and it's going to be like that for the whole year. Whatever you put into your cash flows, it will put here. So just for an example, if I change this to capital, you will see it in inflow breakdown here in capital. And if I change it to revenue, you will see it here in revenue. So that's basically just how it goes. For the AR tracker, basically, if you have any transactions you need to make, or if, for example, if you need it for REAF or something like that, uh, you just have to approach me, Samu, or Dave, and Dave will be supplying you with your AR numbers that he will be assigning to you, and then after that, he will be going through this step by step on how you fill this up. So that's basically it. This is a case-to-case basis, so not all committees will be using their AR tracker, but yes, that's basically it. Hello, so to add lang, so I added a new tab here in the committee finance tracker for ARs. So for example, yun nga, if you input anything in your AR tracker, so for example, after Dave has given you your AR numbers, for example lang, 1 or 2, ganun. So let's say there was a transaction. So the transaction happened today, June 29, 2020, item, let's say water, received from Samu. Account here, it basically means cash, BDO, GCash, PayMongo, the payment channels used basically. So for example, I will say cash. Amount paid is 200 pesos and received by Dave. So DS means deposit slip, just to see that the proof of payment was uploaded in the driver not here, uploaded. And AR is to say naman or note if it's been sent na by you. So yun. For example, another transaction here, just so we can see the difference later. Iced tea received from Dave. We use GCash naman. We paid 100 and Samu received. Okay, so that's an example. So this AR tab here is semi-automatic. So what happens is that when you input, the first thing you do is when you input here in the AR number box, all you have to do is put a number there, the AR number assigned, and some information or the important information that was input in the AR tracker will appear here in the AR template. So for example, 1. Samu, water, date, item total, and then payment method is noted as cash. So tama lahat. Optional, you can also put here the mobile, email, address, everything there. And also, you can also put an additional quantity if you want to be more specific, the unit price, and the shipping fee. So yun, you can make some edits if there's some stuff that's kulang. And also, after all that, you put your name and signature here in this box, and then you file, download as PDF. So when you download as PDF, make sure that you export and rename it as the AR number provided. That way, when you upload it in the receipt drives, it's specific and it's easier to understand. Yes. So yun, that's an example. And just to show you how semi-automatic, if I put the AR number 2 naman, there, the information changed. And since it's GCash, it went to other. Yung payment method here, it's other na. So yun, basically, that's how you use this new tab. Thank you for listening. If you have any more questions, yun nga, ask me or Dave, or you can check the guidelines tab. It probably explains it better also. Thank you.